I'm the fun police, and I banned clapping between questions. So it's clapping after speeches. No, don't you apologise. You were getting into it. So it's clapping after speeches and then silence after questions, just so that we can get through everything quite fast. Do you guys all know what you're doing? Same format, 2 minutes, questions, 1 minute. Okay? So first of all, I would like to ask the first candidate, which is Louisa, if you would like to take a microphone and do your 2 minutes. I think that's the right one. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Louisa, and I want to work closely with societies.
Get closer, get closer.
Is that
You can start again.
Thank you. So I'm Louisa, and I want to work closely with societies and their members to promote and aid their development. I'd like societies to become more involved in the union and how it is run, while the union works on assisting societies and making them better and bigger. The SU is here for students, and student input is what's going to help it to evolve. Working on improving the room booking system is my main priority. Society shouldn't have to keep checking up on their bookings once it has been made. I want to look at implementing. It's in my face, okay. I want to look at implementing an online booking system that not only shows available rooms, but also provides a space for societies to say what they're going to need, and so it is there ready for them when they are there. The system should prevent double bookings and make society organisation significantly easier. I want the SU to recognise the achievement of its societies as well as offering more chances for development. I want to work with academic departments and careers to put on events that are going to help you develop what you've learned as part of a society and apply it to what you're going to do next. I want to create a network of society presidents that should help societies to communicate, making it easier to organise more large-scale events such as Total War and Nordbahn. With societies working together, events like these can be bigger and better for everybody. I'm hard-working and determined and have been part of clubs and societies throughout my time at Keele. From helping Jiu-Jitsu to run smoothly and helping set up Keele Guide Dog Society, I've also worked with street teams to help people with SLS. I face all manner of problems that come with running a society and know how frustrating it can be when it feels like it's you against the union. The union are here to work with you, and I want to make sure that you know that is what they're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Louisa Ryan. Next we have Sarah Barnes.
Hello, I'm Sarah Barnes, a third-year biology major with a minor in geology, here to convince you not only to vote, but to vote for me. But why should you care? Often students can feel that their voices drown out, that things that matter to them are important to those with power to help. Having been a student, a member of a number of societies, and a committee member, I know the stresses and joys that come with any student-led group. I ran everything from simple trips to Lindsay Bar after exams to the largest inter-society event on campus, which had attracted people as far afield as London and Wales. I know problems faced by societies not only in event organising, but getting themselves heard, and bringing causes that matter to them to the forefront of students' minds. Societies offer a support system, chances for people to experience new things and make friends. I want to give them all the help they need to reach more students within Keele and the local area. I want to increase the focus on mental illness and the support available. Societies are often friendship groups, and training societies regarding mental illness can help reduce the stigma and fear of judgment that those who suffer with mental health problems can face. Likewise, encouraging charity work and aiding those who already do such a great job in raising money and awareness of a variety of causes is very dear to my heart. Many people do not know about the ragtag or other forms of help available from the union to aid these causes. I want to make sure that these societies are recognised more and encouraged to get involved. I want to make things easier and clearer for all students, those in societies and those not, utilising systems in place and introducing my own while making sure that you don't get left behind. To get your questions answered, to help raise awareness of charities and causes that touch your heart, focusing on improving the Keele experience as a whole. I wait for your questions. Thank you.
Could we next have Emma Carter to the microphone, please?
Hi guys, I'm currently a staff president of the Tea Party Society and your society's rep. You might also recognise me from one of the video, dressed as a space hopper. Hot to it, but for me. One of my main goals over the past few years has been getting societies working together with KeeleSU, and I think that's the main reason that my society last year won Best New Society. I've been continuing to work towards this year. Within 2 months of being elected Societies Rep, hosted the Societies Quiz with over 20 societies, and implemented the Partnership Societies Right. I want to carry on doing this next year, but to a bigger extent. I want us to extend outside of Keele and set up a link-up volunteering scheme so that we can work with the local community. I want our stars to link up with our academic societies, and I want KeeleSU to link up with our student reps and our religious organisations across campus. Another big thing that I'm focusing on is democracy. I want to set up online motion submission and discussion so you can be involved with democracy without having to speak out. I want to work towards continual improvement of this throughout the year. I also want to help our stars and help them be more recognised and make their jobs easier. I want to set up an online booking system of all venues across campus and continue working towards setting up a societies office. I want to improve the safety buses, and finally, I want our societies and extracurricular activities to be seen for what they really are, not just a benefit of coming to Keele, but a reason to come here. I've been working with relevant parties towards these goals for the past few months, and now it's time to turn those goals into reality. Thank you.
And finally, Annie Piper.
I'm not quite sure if Mike's available. Hi everyone. I've got some numbers for you here: 28, 8, 6, 21, 12, 24, 8 and 34. If you could just remember those, that'd be great. Hi, I'm Annie. I'm an English and Human Biology student, which is a bit odd, but that's what I am, and that's what's great about Keele. When I came to Keele, I lived off campus, which was a hard life, but it didn't stop me from getting involved. I quickly joined the Drama Society and the football team. And that's when I discovered that the AU and the SU are the most important part of campus. It's where the heart of Keele is. Fast forward 2 years, and here I am. I'm the president of the Drama Society and the co-president of Keele LGBT, which is a bit different from the football team. From being part of these two societies and cooperating with others, I understand the time and effort required to make events and campaigns happen, not just for societies, but for SLSs too. But I also realise that from this, we gain enjoyment, camaraderie and skills that we can't get anywhere else, and this is all because of the SU. And that's why I wish to encourage greater engagement through more variety of events, better communication through more face-to-face contact, and lastly, to push for facilities that encompass our needs. Now, I hope you've all remembered those numbers. Basically, they're the societies of Keele. We've got 28 academic societies, 8 dance and performance societies, 6 film, media and literature, 21 activities, 12 music societies, 19 political campaigns and welfare, 24 religious belief and culture, 8 student-led services and 24 sports clubs, and over 10,000 students. But there's a number that I think is missing, and that number is 1. We should work together to improve the university, the union, and work as one community. And I want to be the person to help you do that by making your societies accessible, supporting your societies, and making sure that everyone can make the most out of the SU. If you want an officer to do those things, then please vote me number 1 for VP Finance and Activities.
Thank you very much. We now have how many questions? Seriously? Okay. Okay, do we want to take questions that are specifically for candidates first? Well, do we have any questions for Sarah first? It's her turn.
You mentioned Keele card machines in your manifesto. Keele card machines cost thousands of pounds to install. Did you know that you can now top up your Keele card online? And if so, do you think Keele card machines are necessary?
I did know that you can top up online, but the minimum top up you can currently do online is £10 if you want to print something off and there is a queue out the door and you've got a lot of calls to go in and you need a printing off. It's not ideal if you... They do cost a lot of money to install, but Keele cards, you use them for everything. We use them to identify ourselves in exams. We can use them to get cheaper food at Lindsay Bar, for example, or on Concourse. But there are only currently 3 Keele card machines, to my knowledge, on campus. Why aren't there more? There's one in the library, one in Concourse, and one in Lindsay Bar. There isn't one in the SU, but surely that's a hub of activity. And there's only one in Concourse that leads to giant lines at every 10 to 10 past window, which is really inconvenient if someone has a 4-hour block from 9 AM of lectures in CBA without any chance to grab anything afterwards and without getting the discount on their cook card.
Yeah, that's. Sound normal?
Do we have any questions that are specifically for Emma next?
Yes, we do. Safety buses are another recurring nightmare in student union election cycles. The safety bus provision has been improved year on year for several years now. What exactly needs to be improved?
Well, there's always room for improvement, and I've actually been speaking with the people who are in charge of running safety buses recently, and we are figuring out ways to make the safety buses more sustainable and better for students without using a lot of extra costs. We've got a few ideas. I don't want to tell you them in case they don't pan out, but one of the best ones so far was a ticket system. So we're just finalising the details of exactly how it will work. But yes, I do realise it's a recurring issue, but I am working on it, and so far it's going quite well. Thank you.
Do we have any questions that are specifically for Annie next?
Yes. You talk about modernising the society financial system. This will require much technical support, and there will be set-up costs involved. Have you researched this proposal with relevant staff to ensure that you could effectively implement such a system?
So one of...
Sorry, I don't know what caused that.
Cool, attempting. Yeah, I have done a little bit of research in... Oh, God! Yeah, I have done a little bit of research into it, but basically one of the main things that I was thinking of from a financial thing like that is something that Kent University actually does. Kent University actually has a very similar society financial plan to us. However, instead of using cheques, which are like a bazillion years old, they actually just do bank transfers online, which actually cost very much at all to set up, and that would be something so simple and so efficient. It would save so many societies so much time. I'm going to use drama as an example. We sometimes spend at least £300 sometimes, and that leaves us out of pocket for a long time if you're a student, and we generally pay it for ourselves. We know that we can use the society credit card, but sometimes it's not available. So it ends up that normally Megan over there spends a lot of money and doesn't get back in time. So balance transfer would be the simplest way to do that. And that's a good example. And any questions specifically for Louisa?
Hello? Yes, here we go. Louisa, increasing the profile of societies is a vague pledge. What would you do to increase the profile of societies, and how can you take advantage of the activities department at KeeleSU in order to do this?
I think that we have some societies on campus that have a lot bigger profile than others. We have societies like LGBT, we have CRAP, and a lot of them we get a lot of publicity and are out there all the time doing things and really raising awareness. But then there's also a lot of smaller ones that people haven't heard of, so I just want to encourage them to get themselves out there. We have Give It a Go running with in the SU, and I just want them to give a chance for people. I want to give them a chance to stand there and have people come in and see what it is they do, so people know that they are there and there are more things available than just what everyone sees daily.
Thank you very much. Do we now have any questions for all of the candidates?
Concourse has one question for all of the candidates, and I apologise to you for this one. Which would you prefer, a student activities department or an extra £80,000 for societies?
That's for Emma, please.
Thank you very much. Well, I personally really love working on science because of the activities team, and so they really are. I'm not stuffing up here. I do think that they are a very important resource here at Keele, and they're constantly there to help us, and I don't think that money would quite replace them.
Thank you. Next to Annie, please.
As lovely as £80,000 towards societies would be, I'm going to agree with Emma. I think the activities department work hard for societies in so many different aspects and actually put on so many things themselves are relevant to societies as well. I think it would be a massive loss if we didn't have them. So.
And next to Louisa.
I agree with the other two candidates. When you're struggling as a society and you need help, the activities department are there to help you and support you in what you're doing. They also run activities for students who aren't part of the society, so they are more for the union than just for the societies. They are there doing a lot more than what is on the surface. So.
And finally, Sarah.
Again, the activities department, 80 grand would be nice, but we have 122 societies, and realistically it wouldn't go that far. They're spread out between all of equally, and the activities department have been really useful for a lot of societies. Though I would like a lot more clarity, because a lot of societies aren't aware that the activities department, like what they do exactly. So it would be nice to have a lot more clarity on that front.
Thank you. Is there now any candidate that would like to respond to anything that anyone else has said in that question? No? Then we can move on to the next question.
Okay, this is for all candidates and it's regarding room bookings. Currently the SU needs assurances and signatures to book rooms. How can both the needs of the students' union to have people responsible and online booking systems be met when an online system as proposed would not cover the requirements needed by the SU? I can repeat that as many times as you like. Another time? Right, so room bookings. Lots of you have spoken about online systems. At the moment, the SU needs signatures and assurances that someone will be responsible for that room. How do you balance that with online booking?
Annie first.
So basically, most of the SAB officers have access to see which room bookings have been booked. I think that one of the main problems that we have is that people don't know whether or not it's booked, so there's emails flying around and it's just communication hell by the sounds of things. So I think it would be really good if we could actually have it displayed to others, what is booked and when. And I still think that maybe they might need to rework slightly the signature system, but I still think that that would be needed a bit more, what's the word? I think I'd need a little bit more research to find a different way to do that. So I'm going to leave it like that.
Thank you. And Louisa?
I think the best way to keep the system in place while implementing the online booking system is to have the online access available only to the presidents and secretaries of the society. So then they are taking responsibility. If they give their passwords on to someone in the society, then we know about it and we can say that they're signing in, they're taking responsibility for it. So if we are having the main committee logging in and having them booking the rooms, then they are taking responsibility by accepting booking online rather than coming and doing it directly through us.
Thank you. And Sarah?
The other candidates in the manifesto have all discussed an online booking system. However, I propose an online calendar because currently you do need the signatures, you do need the assurances. You need to go to the different to book somewhere in the SU. You need to talk to the different departments and find out exactly what you need out of the space you need to make sure it's appropriate for you, appropriate for your event, and make sure all the health and safety is right, make sure you've got security booked. And having first-hand experience with this, it's best to do it in person. It's the best way to communicate without having discrepancies that might not have been noticed in an email. So, though an online booking system sounds nice, it's better to get the experience and the expertise of the people in the events team before showing up and being like, oh, we need this, this, and this. Why can't we have access to the industrial plugs? You didn't put that on your online booking form. We assumed it was okay. but for health and safety and insurance purposes, you can't use that unless you've selected it. And if you haven't talked to the people involved, how do you know that you need it and whether it's available? So an online booking system does sound nice, but if we're paying people who have the expertise, why wouldn't we access that before putting in place bookings? Thank you.
Thank you. And Emma.
My main aims with the online booking system were primarily to firstly make sure that all venues across campus are available in one place, because currently there is a separate email for every single building and it's just a pain to figure out who to contact. And secondly, it would, I think, help with the double bookings that have been going on. So using it in that way, I don't think would be an issue with signing forms. I think that that can still be done and should still be done for the reasons Sarah has said.
Thank you. Is there any candidate that wants to respond to anything that was said in response to that question? Sarah, go for it.
We currently do have different booking methods to different departments. To the SU, you would have to fill in all these forms. To book anywhere in Chancellor's Building, you have to email Brian Nickel, but everyone has a different person because there are different people in charge of the different schools and the different buildings. So it would be possible to set up a way to contact them all at once, but it could get quite infuriating. Maybe putting together a list of people who can do this for you, a list of current email addresses, a list of everyone who currently runs Hollywood Bar, Temple Bar, Pig and Rat. Like, that will make that so much easier for societies to get in contact with, or just anyone running events in general. Because currently you have to hunt far and wide to find out who's in charge of each social space for bookings. But if there's just like a coherent list, that would be far more useful.
Thank you. Anybody else? Then we shall move on to the next question. Is the one?
Yes, for all candidates. Many of you have put inter-society collaboration as a main goal on your manifestos. How would you encourage this?
Louisa, could you take it?
I think within society collaboration is not necessarily encouragement that's needed. A lot of societies are already wanting to work together to get things done. There are societies and there are sports teams who are raising money and coming to try and find a society to donate it to. There are plenty of societies wanting to give big events and not knowing who to go to help organise it. I think we just need a system where society presidents can contact other presidents or find out other people who are wanting to do the same things as them, and then they can work on it together.
Thank you. And Sarah?
As I mentioned in my opening speech, I ran the biggest in-society event on campus this year, which had over 250 people attend, with 6 societies involved and an outside business. A lot of times people are doing these collaborations, but they're not getting as much advertisement as I think they should be getting. Again, making sure that everyone's contact details are available and getting these societies in touch. I don't think ideas such as Society's Ball will be too viable, and it would be really too late in the year to encourage like older committees to get involved with each other. Perhaps having some socials at the beginning of the re-election period in March, where societies are doing their handover period, could be quite useful in getting everyone to know each other, as well as just getting people to talk to each other. For example, a few societies I'm involved in, we do one-off events on Wednesday nights every now and again, and it's been quite a hit with our members, and we look to continue that in the future. And it'd be nice to foster and develop these relationships between societies and encourage them more.
Thank you. And Emma?
Obviously, a simple way to encourage inter-society collaboration is just simply by in training and things like that, say the events that have gone on that have been successful between different societies. What I've listed in my manifesto to encourage this is things like society committee socials and a society's ball, just to get us all to meet each other. I don't know how many of you were at the activities conference, but I met a lot of different society committee members that day, and I felt a lot closer to them after that. I also think another way to do this is to have events that encourage different societies to be involved, so like the World Festival and the Sustainability Fashion Show. So I'd like to host more events like that, perhaps a Societies Festival, things like that throughout the term, just to get us all working together and getting to know each other.
Thank you, Annie?
Yeah, I've done quite a few kind of inter-society things actually, especially with LGBT and drama obviously, throughout the year, and I do think that recognition for these is something that needs to definitely improve. I think we do a lot of things, and I just wonder if promotion of this is something that needs to happen to then encourage other societies to do that too. Who knows what's going on with my mic. I also think that the society forums that used to be really regular, if I remember right when Dave Plant was in, they were more regular, and that's a really good networking opportunity. But also, I personally would like to act almost as a liaison. I mean, obviously societies, if I did get the role, would all come to me, so then surely I'd be able to point them in the correct direction with the right email. And I'm a big believer in face-to-face contact. All the things that I've organised with my committees, we've all met through people. So recently, me and my cousin, oddly, from Creative Writing, we set up a spoken word night. That was just me and her going, oh, let's do this, that's great, let's do it. So I just think more of that, and more encouragement in societies, more promotion and more networking opportunities would be the best thing for that.
Thank you. Does anybody have anything to add to that question? Sarah, go for it.
There are also currently the SU awards that aren't really that well advertised, so maybe increasing the prestige associated with that. I believe there is a collaboration award. As well as this, there is it's not collaboration, but it's like a partnership stripe that's just been introduced that's really good as well. So increasing the prestige of such awards would be quite good as well.
Anybody else? Do we have any more questions?
We have one final question from the floor for all candidates. What do you say to the prospect of your role being removed or significantly changed?
Sarah, if you can take that one first.
Having talked to Danny Walker and our previous VP of Finance and Activities, I'm aware that the role is very fluid. As it stands, you can currently focus on what you want to some extent. But if it were to be changed, I would want a greater focus on societies. But because societies are very important, but keeping some finance aspect, because being able to interact with societies and assist them with their finances is really useful from those I've talked to. Yeah, but I think it definitely needs restructuring, and it has been discussed, I think, this year to be restructured, but hasn't gone through yet. So I would be all for that.
Thank you. And Emma?
I do think the role needs reforming. I think the key part of the role is working with societies and being representative for societies. But I'd also like to see the role becoming more community focused, so helping us to come out of the Keele bubble and work with the community. And also having a focus on democracy would be brilliant, because currently democracy at Keele isn't great. It is being worked on now, thanks to Matt. But I do think that this needs to be maintained throughout the year, and I think this is something that finance and activities could be doing.
Thank you. And Annie?
As Emma said, Matt is currently looking through the kind of the democracy side of things and the roles of the union. And I think that personally, VP Finance and Activities is incredibly important through the societies aspect, and having someone who is part of the student body, who kind of talks through the finance or is there and present. This is a students' union, we should have someone there looking after it. However, I do think that out of kind of across all of the roles really is that one thing I think that personally is lacking is kind of a transparency through communication. I think a lot of people have said previously in other positions that they feel that there isn't enough knowledge of the union and what the union does and some of the roles. So I think that maybe communication kind of aspect added to the role would be something that would be really beneficial for everyone.
finally, Louisa.
Again, I agree with the other candidates. The role is important, but I think reformation is important. I think it does need a greater focus on societies and working with them, getting them noticed and helping them do what they need to do, whereas keeping the finance aspect in there a little bit so that there is representation of the students on financial aspects of running the union. I think the role just needs a greater focus so it isn't as wide and we can concentrate on what needs to be done.
Would anybody like to raise anything that's said in that question? No? Then we will move on to the 1-minute closing speech, where you get the opportunity to say anything that you want to say that maybe not said yet. So, could we have let's have Louisa first.
I don't have much to say as a closing speech other than if you have any questions or want anything clarifying that I've said, feel free to come and find me on campus or drop me an email and I'll answer anything you have to ask.
Thank you. And Sarah?
I hope tonight I've had shown a little bit about how much I care about Keele, the societies and the students and what we can achieve together. I've been a member of societies since I started Keele 3 years ago and I know firsthand what they can achieve given the opportunities. I want to help our societies and make it easier and clearer what the student union could do for them. The SU exists for the students of Keele, but getting or even knowing the help that's available can be difficult at times. I want to change that and I want to encourage, help and assist the societies and students of Keele. Sadly, I was only given a limited space in my manifesto to tell you about my ideas, but if I've not addressed something important to you, please ask me. I'd love to hear your views and ideas and what you feel is important to you and answer any questions you may have. I think I particularly haven't mentioned my manifesto was moving the society's training to just after exams in the spring period to better prepare new societies. Thanks for coming tonight and thanks for watching online. It's been a pleasure. Thanks very much.
I just want to say that working as your societies rep, albeit only for 3 months so far, has really made me realise how much I love working with societies and how great it would be to do this full-time, working with and for you guys. I know I've got the experience to do everything that I've said I want to do because I'm already doing it. Thank you.
I haven't actually prepared anything for this bit. I wasn't sure what I was going to say, but all I will say is that I have the experience. I think from some of my friends who are in the audience, they'll know that I'm literally barely ever in my flat because I'm always doing something, or I'm always cancelling appointments because I'm too busy, because I'm doing other things for society. Societies are what I'm passionate about, but it's not just that. I want to engage everyone. I want the SU to become more of an open space where people feel that they can come, more variety, more events. I won't bore you with any manifesto points, but I'll just say I'm approachable, which I think is really important for the role, and I'd absolutely love to hear from you if you've got any points of view that you think need improving. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you.